Faith in the Bible. What does this term mean? Faith is the trust of promises, founded on previous evidence or experience, about what God says will happen in the future, based on the belief in the power of God. In contrast, blind faith is believing in things based on no evidence at all. Based on that, you could believe in anything. The definition of faith in the Bible and examples of faith in the Bible. Hebrews 11 says, "By faith, Abel offered to God a more acceptable sacrifice than Cain. By faith, Noah, being warned by God concerning events yet unseen, in fear constructed an ark for the saving of his household. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to a place that he was to receive as an inheritance. By faith, Sarah herself received power to conceive, even when she was past the age, since she considered him faithful to what he had promised." What is the meaning of these examples? Noah believed God when he said, meaning had faith, that he would bring a flood. He then prepared his ark. Abraham believed God when he said, meaning had faith, that God would bless and multiply him. Sarah believed God when he said, meaning had faith, that she would have Isaac. Hebrews 11 gives more examples. By faith, Abraham, when he was tested, offered up Isaac. He considered that God was able to raise him from the dead. And by faith, the people crossed the Red Sea on dry land. These examples showed us that Abraham believed God that he would resurrect Isaac if he killed him, because God had already promised that Abraham would have many descendants by Isaac. This is why Abraham expected him to be resurrected. Hebrews 11 says without faith it is impossible to please God. James 1 says, "Let him ask in faith with no doubting, for the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea that is driven and tossed by the wind." You must believe that God is who he says he is and will do what he said he will do, even before you have seen it happen. In John 10, we have another example of faith. For the Jews talking with Jesus, the evidence that Jesus was the Messiah was the power of his works, like his healings and his signs. He said, "If I am not doing the works of my Father, then do not believe me." Despite this evidence, the Jews of his time did not believe him. James 5 says Elijah was a man. He prayed that it might not rain, and for 3 years and 6 months it did not rain. This shows the power of faith. Faith is the belief in the promises of God based on evidence. Blind faith is not faith, because blind faith can lead to any belief.